As of this video going live, we have just 1 week. 1 week until the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order, in theory, lands outside of my front door. And I say in theory because there's always the off chance that my pre-order will get canceled. And I hope it won't. But I've seen horror stories, horror stories on Reddit and whatever, basically saying so-and-so's order was canceled over at Target. So-and-so's order was canceled over at Walmart. And me personally, I did go through Walmart.com, and thankfully everything is just fine. I keep checking it every day for the past week or two. Everything's good. But that aside, let's not think about what could happen. Let's just focus on what will likely happen. Anyway, shout out to my dude Sean for this comment. Thank you so much for the idea. So I figured to celebrate the upcoming launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, I figured why not do an updated tour of my Nintendo Switch collection. And right here are exactly, please don't fall, exactly 30 games. Now, I did have more, technically 37 total, I believe. Okay, so I gotta be perfectly honest with you guys. A while ago, I went through a phase where I was just selling stuff like crazy on eBay. Now, keep in mind, I made some good money. I definitely made a lot of money selling a ton of tech, a ton of video games, but there are certain video games that I will never ever sell because there's a lot of games in this collection, in my PlayStation collection, Dreamcast collection, 64 collection, all that good stuff that I would never even think about selling. Even though I did look up the price, not gonna lie. But anyway, keep in mind, there are 7 games that I did previously own, and I took screenshots of those eBay sales just to give you an idea of what I did sell. And I'm gonna go through these quickly and then talk about some details regarding all these games, things I like, things I don't like, and things I never even experienced because there are some brand new games in the plastic that I never opened. I'm guilty, as are you. Don't pretend that you play and beat every game. Maybe you do, and if you do, good for you. Me, not so much. I'm constantly being pulled left and right as a content creator to play this, play that, so it's all good. Okay, so I did sell Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I sold that for $38 plus shipping. I also sold Bayonetta 2 for $55 plus shipping. Never got into Bayonetta, but I'm glad I tried Bayonetta 2. It was fun for a little bit. I just don't see the appeal. Maybe it's not my kind of game. Mario Tennis Aces, $36 plus shipping. This I might regret selling. I mean, I'm not the biggest tennis fan unless we're talking about like Wii Sports, but I think I'm gonna buy this again on eBay. I mean, I'm assuming I can find it for like $20, $25, and plus I just wanted to be part of my collection. Now this one I do not regret selling because I got $155 for it. Skylanders Imaginators. Fun fact, that's one of the first games I bought for the OG Switch. And I could not believe when I looked up pricing years ago. The fact that I sold it for $155 is absolutely insane. But again, I don't regret selling it because I'm just not a big Skylanders guy. It's fun for a little bit, but the games just aren't that important to me. Ultra Street Fighter 2, I sold it for $55 plus free shipping, it looks like. Not the biggest Street Fighter fan. I like Street Fighter. But I never really got into it like I did Mortal Kombat, and I think the most I ever got into Street Fighter was, I could be wrong here, I think it was Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo. I could be wrong, but I recall enjoying Street Fighter 2 quite a bit. The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, I sold that for $79 plus free shipping. I did not see the appeal of The Binding of Isaac. I mean, I get it, it's just not for me. It just was not a very fun experience. And last but certainly least, this game I do not regret selling one bit. It got boring literally after 1 day. ARMS. ARMS was just boring. I'm sorry. It's just one of those games where, yeah, it's fun for a couple hours, and then, well, you're just asking yourself, what the hell am I doing with my time? You're essentially just waving your arms in the room and pretending you're having fun. Me, not so much, and I sold it for $40 plus shipping. Okay. Now that those are out of the way, let's focus on the 30 games that I did keep. First one, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, perhaps the longest Mario title in history. It's no secret that Nintendo loves taking their old games, especially on consoles that didn't take off too well. Wii U. Who was that? No, but seriously, guys, the Wii U, it's no secret. It was not a huge success. It's a fantastic console. Please do not ignore it. If you can afford it, buy a used one on eBay. Buy a few games because it really did have some fantastic titles. But anyway, obviously I had to get this game again on the Switch. Yes, I own the original on the Wii U. But from what I can recall, this was incredible. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Honestly, like, guys, it doesn't take a lot to amaze me with a 2D Mario game. It was incredibly solid from beginning to end. I don't really have like strong memories of it because I just played it so long ago, but I do recall enjoying this quite a bit. Oh, hello there. One quick note I want to mention, I realize this as I'm getting ready to edit the video. I also own Super Mario Bros. Wonder on the Switch. Guys, phenomenal game, like really good game. Dare I say, one of the best 2D Mario games to date. Absolutely incredible. The only thing is, I downloaded it on the eShop, so I don't technically own the physical version, but I think I'm going to get around to buying a used copy eventually. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. No, I did not ignore Wonder. Awesome game. Back to the video. Has Been Heroes. So this is one of those games I bought around the OG Switch's release because I just wanted something that I never really thought I would get into. Basically, I wanted to buy something random, you know? And well, I bought this, Has Been Heroes. I recall not loving it too much, and I think the only reason I never sold this is because it just wasn't worth selling. It might go for like 15, 20 bucks. So I was like, you know what? Might as well keep it. And who knows, maybe I'll revisit it at some point. But I recall just not enjoying it too much. But at the same time, I don't regret buying it because I don't want to be one of those gamers that only buys, you know, the big games like Mario and Call of Duty, not for Switch obviously, but for Xbox and whatever, because there are a lot of gems out there. This isn't really a gem to me, but it might be a gem to you. Speaking of buying games that I normally wouldn't buy, Super Bomberman. So this is another game that I bought for the OG Switch. I recall enjoying it quite a bit. It's not the kind of game that really held my attention for too long, but I'm glad I bought this and I will never ever sell it. Because it's just really cool owning a Bomberman game, because I used to be a big fan of the original Bomberman games back in my day, so it was kind of cool to relive that classic experience, but in the modern era. Kirby Star Allies. I love Kirby. Honestly, I don't understand how anybody could not like Kirby. This, from what I can recall, was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. My biggest gripe with recent Kirby games, keyword recent, because I know the old classic games were quite difficult, is the fact that, in my opinion, maybe I'm just ultra skilled and I don't realize it. No, not really. The Kirby games these days are just too easy. Right? I mean, does anybody agree with me? And I'm not saying this game is bad, because I recall enjoying this quite a bit. I'm pretty sure I streamed it on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, one of those platforms. But it's just too easy. However, I do not regret buying this because I love Kirby, and I'm trying to catch up on the old Kirby games that I never got around to playing. For example, I recently bought myself Kirby and the Rainbow Curse on the Wii U. The game's a lot of fun. I mean, it's literally mirroring between the gamepad and the screen, so there's nothing unique about the gamepad. I mean, except for the fact that you obviously have to use the gamepad to use the stylus to trace the, or draw rather, the paths. But anyway, we're not talking about the Wii U. But hey, if you guys want a Wii U collection video, let me know right below and maybe I'll do that in the near future. And by maybe, I mean, most likely, yeah. Anyway, Kirby Star Allies, fun game, just too easy. Puyo Puyo Tetris. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Tetris. I mean, I'm a much bigger fan of Dr. Mario. I wish Dr. Mario would get some love on the Switch, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, Dr. Mario does not seem to be a priority for Nintendo. It is what it is. I don't know. But anyway, Puyo Puyo Tetris is another game that I bought for the OG Switch. Basically, a game much like Has Been Heroes. I wouldn't normally buy Puyo Puyo Tetris, but I wanted something different. And if I recall correctly, I don't think I paid 60 bucks for this, so it's not like it cost a ton of money. I think I got it for like 30 or 40, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Puyo Puyo Tetris. Fun times. Lego City Undercover. Unfortunately, I never beat this game. I would like to go through it at some point. Realistically, I'm probably never gonna do that. But I'm glad I own this. Think like GTA, but in Legoland. You know, it's a lot more family friendly, obviously. And it says on the back here that you can play with a friend in local split screen, collect and customize over 100 vehicles, don multiple disguises with unique skills and abilities. There must have been something about this game that didn't hold my attention, thus why I never really finished it. But much like most of my collection, I do not regret buying this because this is a lot like the other games in saying this. This is not the type of game I would normally buy, but because the Switch was new back then, guys, we're talking like 8 years ago, I wanted to treat myself to a different kind of experience, something I'm not used to. Okay, going back to Kirby for a little bit. Kirby in the Forgotten Land. This game I definitely streamed. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was Kick at the time. But much like Kirby, where is it? Star Allies, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, great game. I don't really have any major complaints. Too easy. Too easy. I cannot say it enough. Nintendo, please give us an incredibly difficult Kirby game. Please, that's all I want. Like, I want a Kirby game that truly makes me rage. But hey, the extremely low difficulty aside, I do recall enjoying this game quite a bit. And actually, there's a good chance I might go through it again because I believe this is going to get a 60 frames per second upgrade once the Switch 2 comes out. So there's a good chance I'll go through it once I'm past my Mario Kart World hype phase and all that stuff. But yeah, great game. Definitely check it out if you enjoy Kirby. Just be warned, it's incredibly easy, but sometimes people like easy games, you know, like, and guys, I get it. Like sometimes, you know, you just want to sit down, relax, and play a game and have fun without getting too mad. And I will say, I do recall the ending of this being very over-the-top anime style, and I thoroughly enjoyed the ending, so great game overall. Just too easy. Oh my god. The Legend of Zelda, Tears of Kingdom. So, Tears of Kingdom? Hey, this guy's not a real gamer. Now, Tears of the Kingdom. So, I absolutely loved Breath of the Wild. So, when this was announced, I'm like, okay, cool, another Zelda game. I did not expect to fall in love with this game as much as I actually did. The building mechanics alone had me absolutely hooked. Guys, I'll never forget, like, there were countless videos on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and whatever, basically with gamers showing off their builds, like these crazy robotic builds, funny builds, the memes and all that stuff, because of Tears of the Kingdom. This game truly unlocked your creativity, and you could create pretty much anything you want as long as the game, you know, allowed it. But the thing is, this game didn't hold my attention like Breath of the Wild did. And I think there's one main reason for that, and I think a lot of you will actually agree with the following statement. It was the same old game. You know, yes, it was Hyrule, it was beautiful, we had some changes, we had the whole underworld or whatever they called it, you know, the depths, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I feel like they should have held off on this game and maybe made it a Switch 2 launch title. So in other words, maybe redoing Hyrule again, like Breath of the Wild, but a different type of environment, different places to explore. And yeah, we got new shrines and everything and caves and all that stuff, and the building system again, which is incredible. But I think its biggest problem was the fact that it didn't feel new enough. Was it damn good? Absolutely. Did I ever finish this game? No. But I'm actually really glad I didn't finish this because I'm really glad to go through it because of the Switch 2 upgrade. 60 frames per second. And for me, it's kind of free. Shout out to my dude Oracle for hooking me up with 12 months of NSO, Nintendo Switch Online, plus expansion pack. Not expansion pass. I realized in last week's video, I kept saying expansion pass. I guess I had Game Pass on the brain. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, incredible game. I just never beat it. But I feel like that happens for a reason because I'm excited to go through it for real this time on the Switch 2. But not until after I beat Breath of the Wild again. And yes, that game I did beat. Metroid Prime Remastered. Now, this game I never beat. I do own Metroid Prime on the GameCube. Never beat it. Never got around to finishing it. And this one I got stuck on the Switch. Like, great game. I don't have any major complaints. It runs at 60 frames per second. Buttery smooth gameplay, which is a big deal, you know, with the Switch because Nintendo doesn't exactly go after, you know, 60 frames per second for all of their games, except for the Switch 2. The Switch 2 will hopefully change that with most titles. But the fact that Metroid Prime Remastered looks as good as it does, and it gives us 60 frames per second performance in handheld and docked mode, I think that's incredible. Like, that alone is worth buying this game for. But again, I just never finished it because I got stuck. But I definitely plan on beating this at some point because I've never beat a Metroid game. I'm ashamed to say that. Mario vs. Donkey Kong. This game was such a nice surprise. I streamed this on YouTube, and I loved every minute of it. For the most part, I got through the levels, you know, after a few minutes of thinking. You're like, oh, yeah, I mean, this game kind of gives you that satisfying feeling of, it clicked. Now I know how to get from point A to point B. And guys, that's exactly what this game does. Like, this game was phenomenal. I'm a big puzzle guy. I mean, I've always loved puzzles, hence why I love the shrines in the Zelda games so much. But this game was a pleasant surprise. Like, I didn't think it was going to be that good, because I never played the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong. But this game was, like, it was just good. It was an excellent game, and yes, I did 100% this, I'm pretty sure. Or at least I beat the main story, then all the bonus levels, the hard levels. Phenomenal game. Seriously, if you guys are into puzzle games, definitely check this out. You can probably get it for a decent price on eBay. Worth every penny, worth every minute of your time. Absolutely loved Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Animal Crossing New Horizons, brand new in the plastic. Wait a minute. Don't get mad at me, guys. Don't get mad at me. I own 2 copies of Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan. I played all the Animal Crossing games dating back to the GameCube. And ever since then, I've loved the series. And I honestly do believe New Horizons is the best one in the franchise. Yes, even better than Wild World. A lot of people think Wild World is the best one. In my opinion, this one is the best one because of terraforming. I loved actually modifying, you know, the physical land of your island. Like, that was a big deal. That was a huge deal. Did it have some limitations? Of course. There's never going to be a perfect Animal Crossing game, especially a game that's so focused on creativity and making the world your own. You're always going to have some kind of limitations, you know, in regards to putting what's on your mind on the screen. It's just not possible for every kind of player out there. But the reason why I own 2 copies is, well, one, I own the physical copy, and the second copy I own is digital only. Because I bought that on a whim because I really wanted it on day one, and I think this is coming like the following day or something like that. So basically, David here got a little impatient and he spent another $60. So in total, I spent $120 plus tax on this freaking game. But hey, you know what? Guys, I would do it again because Animal Crossing New Horizons was absolutely one of my favorite Switch experiences of this generation. Like, it's just so good. Fantastic game. Absolutely incredible. Speaking of good games, in the plastic. I know. Now, I know for a fact this game is good because I've played Pikmin in the past, at least on Nintendo Land or demo or something like that, and I recall enjoying it quite a bit, but for whatever reason, I never opened up Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I just never opened it. I know, hate me. It's okay, guys. I am not a perfect gamer, neither are you. You want to fight? No, but seriously, I just never opened it. You know, it's just one of those games I never got around to playing. Speaking of games I never got around to playing, this is funny. New Pokemon Snap is still in the plastic. I'm ashamed, guys. You gotta understand. If I'm gaming, it's usually with games that absolutely mean the world to me. I am by no means a hardcore Pokemon guy. I'm a casual Pokemon gamer, so I'm in no rush to open this, but I will eventually open it, I promise, because I recall enjoying Pokemon Snap on the N64 quite a bit. I never actually owned it, but I recall renting it from my local video game store called Funhouse Video. If you heard of it, let me know in the comment section right below. Because back then we didn't have a local Blockbuster, we only had Funhouse Video. But guys, it was literally within walking distance of our old house. It was absolutely perfect. And guess what it was near? A Wawa. Hell yeah. I mean, come on. What is better than going to Wawa and getting a hoagie and renting a video game on the same day? That right there is the life. Anyway, I recall enjoying Pokemon Snap on 64 quite a bit. I just never got around to opening this one. New Pokemon Snap. I feel like this game quickly fell under the radar. I just feel like not a lot of people talked about this, so maybe I'm not alone in not playing this. Let me know. I mean, am I missing out? Is it actually a good game? I'm sure it's great, but it's just not a priority. And speaking of not a priority, I got this for Christmas a while ago. Sega Genesis Classics, brand new in the plastic. I know, I'm ashamed, guys, but hey, I'm not gonna lie. There are a few games that I never opened for my Xbox One, or even my PlayStation 4. Yes, guys, I have some PlayStation 4 games I never played, but that just comes along with the territory of being a gamer. You know, there's just too many games to play. There's not enough time in the day. And honestly, I'm sure this is fun, but I've played classics before on NSO and my emulator handhelds that I have. So I feel like I'm not missing out on too much yet, but I definitely want to play this at some point and stream these games. For example, let me just pick a random game here. Golden Axe I used to play all the time on Sega Channel. Yes, I'm one of the OG gamers, guys. Sega Channel and Genesis was incredible. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. Think like Game Pass or Netflix for gaming back then on Sega Channel via your cable connection. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, obviously I played that. Sonic the Hedgehog original, played that. Vector Man 2, oh my god, this might be worth playing alone for Vector Man. I never owned Vector Man, but I think I used to play it all the time on Sega Channel, or our neighbor used to let me play it on his Sega Genesis. Either way, Vector Man was awesome. So maybe I actually will open this in the near future. Okay, Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. Hold on, let me get something out of the way here. Link's Awakening. Okay, so the Link's Awakening remake on Switch, I didn't stick with it. The frame rate drops were just a huge turnoff for me. Like, immense turnoff to the point where I'm like, this is annoying, I'm not really enjoying it. But I'm sure it's a great game. I think it's getting an upgrade, right? Or maybe just Echoes of Wisdom is getting an upgrade. But anyway, let's put this aside, because I want to talk about a game that truly blew my mind. Echoes of Wisdom. So, you thought I wouldn't enjoy this because I didn't enjoy this too much, right? Wrong. This game absolutely impressed the hell out of me. I got this for Christmas last year, because it's one of those games I wanted to ask for, because, you know, my parents are very traditional. They're like, David, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, okay, I'll ask for this, because I never got around to buying it. This game blew my mind. So think like Tears of the Kingdom, kind of. I mean, obviously you're not building, but you're basically summoning these echoes, these objects that can help you solve puzzles, beat enemies, you know, get from point A to point B when jumping up ledges and all that stuff. That's why I love this game. Like, it truly made me enjoy the experience, because there wasn't one like right or wrong way to beat, you know, like a certain part of a level, a certain boss or whatever. You could play any way you wanted. And that is why I loved Echoes of Wisdom. And yes, I actually finished this game. This game was absolutely freaking incredible. And I streamed every minute of it on YouTube. Awesome game. It's a shame I didn't enjoy Link's Awakening that much. But yeah, Echoes of Wisdom, yes, it had some frame rate drops, but I could actually look past that because the echoes were just so much fun to mess around with. Speaking of Zelda, this is my favorite Zelda game of all time. Yes, even more so than Ocarina of Time. And I'm saying that because I'm ashamed to say this. I never beat Ocarina of Time. Yes, I own it. Of course I own it. Come on, baby. But I never beat Ocarina of Time when I was younger. However, I plan on going through it from beginning to end eventually when I played on NSO on my Switch 2. And yes, I can do it on my OG Switch, but I'm waiting till the Switch 2 comes out. But anyway, Breath of the Wild. This is the kind of game where I'm like, you know what? I have to be there on day one, because I am by no means a hardcore Zelda fan. But if it's a good recipe, if you will, or a good system of mechanics and controls and whatever, I'm all in. Because I'm not really into the Zelda storyline. I don't really care for the... I mean, I like the characters, and I like the humor that they throw in here and there, and I like a little bit of lore, but I'm by no means like hardcore into the story, you know? But like Breath of the Wild, this game absolutely blew my mind. Like, this was my entry into the Switch universe, and I loved every minute of it. Guys, I'm serious when I say this is one of my favorite games I have ever played. And I've been gaming since the 80s, guys, so I've been there, you know, from classic consoles all the way up until the modern consoles. Like, Breath of the Wild blew my mind. This game is awesome. I love the open world. The game does not hold your hand. You can do this, you can do that, any way you want. You can explore the shrines, you can go, you know, for the collectibles. If you can see it, you can likely go there. I can't say enough. Like, guys, I can make a whole video about this. If you have not played Breath of the Wild, I say this respectfully. Guys, I truly feel bad for you. Give it a chance. It's so good. It's so good. And shout out to my friend Danny. He calls it Break of the Weapon, which I'm not going to lie is actually really funny. And Danny, I know for a fact you never finished this game. Please give it a chance. But for those who have never played it, like, guys, I'll say it again. I legitimately feel bad for you, because this is a masterpiece. It's a freaking masterpiece. And guys, again, I'm by no means like a Zelda fanboy. I just enjoy a good game, and this is one of those freaking great games. Makes me mad how good it is. This game you can skip. It's one of the stupidest, most simple Nintendo games I've ever played in my life. And as a man, I'm kind of ashamed that I own this, but at the same time, it was a little fun to stream, because I kept, you know, just making fun of it, because it really is that simple. Princess Peach Showtime. I mean, I'm glad I own it. It's part of my collection, but this game is like one of those rare Nintendo titles that I can just say, look, skip it. You're not missing much. I mean, unless you're a kid or you're a parent with a kid and you just need to give someone or yourself an extremely simple gaming experience, then play this. And guys, I'm talking easier than Kirby games. Like, this is as easy as it gets when it comes to Nintendo titles. Like, absolutely just... honestly, kind of a waste of my time, if I gotta be perfectly honest with you guys. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I'm actually playing this right now. I never actually beat a Pokemon game. Now, am I ashamed to say that? No, because I'm just real with you guys. I'm not a hardcore Pokemon guy. You know, I would much rather play a Zelda game or Kirby or Mario game than Pokemon. But hey, Pokemon is fun. This game is damn repetitive. It's the same shit over and over again. But I will say I finally reached a Pokemon League, and yeah, I'm actually finally getting my ass kicked. The game is generally pretty easy, but I'm towards the end, and thankfully it's gotten much, much more difficult, to the point where I'm cursing at the game, and eventually I'll beat it. My goal is to finish this game before the Switch 2 comes out, because God knows when Mario Kart World lands in my house, I'm going to be playing that so much. Oh, by the way, did I even mention Breath of the Wild? Honestly, guys, I forget if I haven't mentioned it, but Breath of the Wild I will definitely be going through again, because it's going to get the 60 frames per second upgrade. For NSO members, it's free, or $10 separately. I am beyond excited to play through this again. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Need I say anything about this, guys? I mean, we all know what Mario Kart 8 is. This game originally came out on the Wii U. Like, it's literally that old. It's that old. When did Mario Kart 8 release on the Wii U?
Mario Kart 8 was released on the Wii U on May 30th in 2014. This is from...
I don't care where it's from. This game's over 10 years old. Not this, but the Wii U version. Guys, I don't have anything else to say. Fantastic game. I streamed it live on YouTube, and it was a lot of fun. And kick and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm completely ready to move on. And no, I never paid for all the DLC tracks. I don't feel like I was missing out on anything, because I got what I needed out of Mario Kart 8. This game was just... It was milked beyond belief. Okay, Super Mario RPG. Fun fact, this is my first ever RPG on the Super Nintendo as a kid. Okay, years ago, sorry, I had to make a jump cut there because I feel like I didn't explain myself well. Years ago, my dad wanted to buy me a game. And I said, okay, Super Mario RPG. And guys, I'll never forget, I was in the store. I still have like a slight visual memory of this. My dad was like, David, are you sure? Like, this isn't your usual Mario game. This is a role-playing game. It's an RPG. I'm like, yes, Dad, I want this. So I'm pretty sure this is my first RPG I ever played back then. And I loved it. I think I beat it as a kid. I'm not sure, I don't know. I am sad to say this game didn't pull me in on the Switch like it did back in the day. I think I hyped myself up too much. But with that said, I would at some point like to get back into this and, you know, just play more of it because it deserves to be played. Fantastic game. Luigi's Mansion 3. I think I opened this once and like played it for maybe an hour and that's it. Maybe I was going on a trip or something and I wanted to check it out, and well, I never got back into it. And yes, I do own the original Luigi's Mansion on GameCube. I don't think I ever got around to buying Luigi's Mansion 2. I think I had Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS. But anyway, long story short, Luigi's Mansion 3 on the 3DS, on the Switch, never got around to playing it too much. So I literally have zero memories of it, but I would like to change that in the near future because I hear this game is beautiful. I hear it's just freaking phenomenal. And I would like to beat it because, well, I love Luigi's Mansion, you know? I just think it's a very visually pleasing game. Speaking of visually pleasing, I do think Yoshi's Woolly World is better, but Yoshi's Crafted World on the Switch. Beautiful game, a lot of fun. I'm a big Yoshi fan. I love a good Yoshi game. And much like Kirby, I feel like Yoshi deserves more love. Actually, I take that back, because we're getting that Kirby Air Ride game right on the Switch too. So Kirby is getting love. Yoshi, on the other hand, he deserves more love, guys. So Nintendo, please give us a new Yoshi game in the next year or two. I think we're going to get a Nintendo Direct in June, so maybe we'll get something there. I'm not going to hold my breath. But realistically speaking, I think we should get a new Yoshi game by 2026. Ring Fit Adventure. So I got this during, I think, COVID times, you know, when we're stuck inside. And I just wanted to get in shape. Guys, This game is no joke. Ring Fit Adventure blew my freaking mind. Yeah, I haven't played it in a few years, but this game literally just made me ache in the best way possible. Like, I felt in pain afterwards, but in a good way. Like, I felt like I was actually getting shit done. So I just loved this. I loved every minute of it. I was truly getting a good workout. It's making sure the game's still playing. You're just kind of standing there. So Ring Fit Adventure, guys, I'm telling you, if you're looking to get in shape and you're like me and you just don't like going outside too much, guys, I love my house. I just love being indoors, you know, but I also love outside. But let's be honest, I don't get outside as much as I should. This game is absolutely worth it. The ring you get where you squeeze it, such a good experience. Extremely satisfying. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, not going to spend too much time on this, but I will say there's never been a Super Smash game that I did not like. I recall loving this. I don't think I played it as much as I played Melee or even Brawl, because I used to stream Brawl back in the day on my Wii, where I would literally point my camcorder, at my TV and stream it on Ustream. Yes, guys, I've been streaming since the beginning. I've been streaming even since before Twitch and YouTube were a thing. Not even joking. Okay, well, YouTube was a thing, but YouTube didn't do live streaming back then. So I absolutely loved Brawl. But Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I recall enjoying this quite a bit. I just don't recall, sticking with it as much as I did Melee and Brawl. But still, fantastic game, and I'll say it again. There's never been a Smash game that I didn't enjoy. Super Mario Odyssey. I have a hot take. This game's overrated. Like, it's a good game. It's solid. I just feel like from a level design perspective, the worlds are too wide open. Like, they're large, which is a good thing. But I feel like there's just too much open space. Not enough things to do. This just didn't hit me like Super Mario 64 did, and even Sunshine. And I beat 64, and I never beat Sunshine. I know. I'm going to go through it again at some point. But anyway, Mario Odyssey, I did beat this game. I absolutely enjoyed it. I just didn't fall in love with this game like everyone else did. I don't know. There was just something about it. It just didn't hit me like the other Mario games did. I feel bad even saying that out loud, because this really is a great game. I just think it's overhyped. It's a solid experience, but I want something bigger and even better on the Switch too. And I think we're gonna get a new 3D Mario game soon. Splatoon 2. I am by no means a hardcore Splatoon guy, but I've had my, fair share of Splatoon 2 love here and there. I do not own the original Splatoon. Wait, no. I do own the original Splatoon. I think on the Wii U, right? Didn't I get it from Goodwill recently? Yeah, dude, I think I got it for like $3 or $4. I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, I don't own Splatoon 3. Eventually I'll get it just to add to my collection. I can't imagine I'm going to play too much. But hey, I'm glad I at least own Splatoon 1 and 2. And, just to say that they're part of my collection. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This game was surprisingly a lot of fun. I was a big Rabbids fan on the Wii. Shout out to my friend Alfred. I will never forget. He gave me shit over buying Rayman Rabbids over Gears of War. I love Gears. Gears of War is so much fun. But the Rabbids game on the Wii was also a lot of fun. So I figured I would own this. So I figured I'd enjoy this. Battery's actually getting low. And I loved every minute of it. And I played it years ago on Twitch. And yes, I actually did beat this game. Okay, I gotta hurry up here. Thankfully, there's only 2 games left. We're gonna end it on a bad note. That's okay. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Guys, it's Donkey Kong Country. I don't recall playing this in recent years, but I definitely recall playing it when it came out. That's just how long it's been. Hi, Zero. My cat just got here. 2018. It looks like this came out in 2018, right? Hold on. When did Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze release on the Switch? ChatGPT, why don't you know this series?
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was released on the Nintendo Switch on May 4th, 2018. That was from ChatGPT.
So 2018. So yeah, it's been a little while. I don't have strong memories of this, but I can tell you this for a fact. I loved this game. There's never been a 2D Donkey Kong Country game that I didn't enjoy. Seriously, Donkey Kong Country is just so solid. It's a solid structure, solid recipe and whatever. Like, I don't know why I keep saying recipe. But this game was fantastic. And I'm very curious about Donkey Kong Bonanza. Not gonna lie, I'm not like extremely hyped for that game because there's something about Bonanza that just seems off to me. It looks a little too much like Odyssey, and as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Odyssey. I enjoy it, but I don't think it's incredible. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping Donkey Kong Bonanza is not just about destroying stuff and finding secrets. I'm hoping it's legitimately like well-designed gameplay and mechanics. But this is Nintendo we're talking about. They rarely disappoint with their first-party titles, so I'm sure I'm going to love it. And last but certainly not least, I know a viewer bought this for me, so I don't want to seem ungrateful, but I'm glad I own this. 1-2 Switch. This is the kind of game that should have been packed in with the OG Switch. But then again, this is Nintendo we're talking about. The Nintendo Switch 2 World Tour, whatever it's called, not World Tour, Switch 2 Tour, I don't know, should be bundled in with the Switch 2. But it's not. And it's the same case with this. 1-2 Switch, I will say my strongest memory of this was HD Rumble, where you would basically hold the Joy-Con, right? And you would feel, feel the marbles rolling around inside. And that blew my mind. I want more of that on the Switch 2. And apparently HD Rumble 2 is going to be even better. So, 1-2 Switch, guys, I'm just really glad I own this. This is one of the OG Switch games, and I'm honored to say it's part of my collection. Wow, this is going to be a long video. I did not expect to talk this much. So guys, what do you think of my collection? 30 games right here. Not bad. Most of them I love. There's only a few games in here that I wouldn't really recommend. But overall, I think it's a solid collection. So guys, thank you so much for watching. And of course, I got to say this. Happy pre-Switch 2. Guys, we're just 1 week away from Switch 2. Guys, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate it. Like the video. I'm planning on putting out a lot of content, including a very in-depth unboxing and first impressions video of the Switch 2. I'm just getting started with my Switch coverage. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. Happy gaming, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.